Welcome back to another episode of Decentralized Chain. It's Feroz, and in today's episode, we are going to be talking about Dogechain, why we're bullish on Dogechain, some of the stuff that's coming up for Dogechain as well, and also we're going to be talking about some of the projects to be watching out for on the Dogechain network. Before we do, if this is the type of content that you like and you want to learn more about crypto, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button below and the bell notification icon so you don't miss any of my upcoming episodes. And obviously, there's always a bit of a lag when I record these episodes and actually publish them. So make sure you come along and join us in the Telegram community because I share a lot of the alpha there first before it even hits YouTube. Links all below. Right, now let's jump into the video and talk about Dogechain. Right, so let's talk about Dogechain. Now, whilst the market may not be in the most healthiest positions right now, one of the things here to bear in mind is that in bear markets, that's where some of the greatest opportunities are realized. And I personally believe, not financial advice, that Dogechain is one of those opportunities. Born from Polygon Edge, what we have here is a platform for Doge users to be able to migrate their Dogecoin over onto the network and allow them to participate in the likes of NFTs, games, DeFis for Dogecoin users. And the Dogechain community is massive. So here, there is a massive upside that if this kicks off the way I think it will, then you're going to get a huge community diving in to Dogechain in order to benefit from all of these solutions, all of these dApps that are going to be growing in this ecosystem. In fact, when we even look at the 24-hour volume, we've seen over $11 million worth of transactions happening. So it's certainly not a small chain at that respect. Now, the other thing to bear in mind here also is if we kind of have a look at the total wrap Doge, which is roughly sitting at 322 million Doge, right? So that's 322 million Doge coins have been ported over onto the Dogechain platform, which is roughly around $18 million that's been migrated over, which is, a pretty decent number. But besides that, what I do like about Dogechain so far is on the initial launch, we saw slowness. We saw issues with their Explorer. Those things got upgraded. We saw issues around wallet security. Those things got upgraded. We've even seen QuickSwap DEX launch their dApp on Dogechain as well, which in itself is actually a pretty powerful statement. We've seen multi-chain partnerships, protocol integrations, allowing for migration onto ERC20. So all of these things have already been improved in the first week of Dogechain's launch. And that's not it. There's still more to come. In fact, they do have a grant available to those that are looking to build value on that platform. So we've got DEXs, we've got blockchain games, we've got NFT marketplaces, DeFi, yield generation tools, which we've seen a fair few already launch, Metaverse, GameFi, NFT collections, all of these things, all of these projects, all of these teams are looking to build out those dApps on the Dogechain network, which in itself is a huge thing because as we've seen, all of these categories of dApps that we've seen have also performed very well on Ethereum. So I don't see why it wouldn't perform just as well on Dogechain, especially when you already have a solid community behind it. So these are things that you certainly want to watch out for on Dogechain itself. The other thing is the on-chain volume. On-chain volume is over 1 million transactions. In fact, that's comparable to Ethereum right now, more than Cosmos. Okay, not quite as much as Polygon itself, but I think we're going to get there. So that is massive in itself. And that is bullish for me because that shows that there is usage on the network, whether it's trading, whether it's people using the dApps. There are transactions happening on the network, which to me is always bullish. It's not a dead chain, so to speak. The other piece that I obviously want to bear in mind is that there is a free airdrop. So whoever wrapped their Doge over onto the Dogechain network, there is an airdrop claim available, and that is slowly wrapping up from what I understand. So if you haven't claimed by tomorrow, which is the 1st of September, then you won't be able to claim any of the free subsequent airdrops. So the way it works is roughly, I believe, is about 15% of the Doge coins that you've wrapped over onto Dogechain will be given back to you as Dogechain tokens, which is the native token. So that's free. And you know what? It's doing quite well in terms of price appreciation. So certainly something you just might want to double check and make sure you get it before you don't. Now, the other thing that's obviously bullish is that it's not just launched and it's just sitting there, as in ERC20 pair on Uniswap and nowhere else. No, we're seeing it also available on other exchanges. MEXC Global, they've got a Dogechain to USDT pair. L-Bank also has a Dogechain pair. In fact, we've also seen it on Gate.io, and recently we saw KuCoin list Dogechain. All of these are bullish for me because they're decent exchanges that are looking to actually take on the Dogechain token. And that really implies one thing, which is that they're seeing value, they're seeing people using that. And if anything, this just grows more awareness for what Dogechain is itself. In addition, we've also got Huobi Global actually launching Dogechain tomorrow. So that'll be a tradable pair tomorrow. And the interesting thing is, and this is purely speculation on my part more than anything else, is if you go to Binance, they actually have a how to buy tutorial on how to buy Dogechain, right? It talks about how you set up MetaMask, how you can buy Ethereum as a currency pair, and also, how you can send it, all of these things. But the main thing here is, for me, is that they've actually created an article on how to buy Dogechain. So clearly it's been noticed by the larger exchanges. And personally, I feel at some point in the future, we are going to see Dogechain listed on Binance. Not financial advice, pure speculation, but based on the fact that all these exchanges already have it, I think Binance might not want to miss out on the fees that they can make along with Dogechain itself. Now, that's a bit about Dogechain. I think we're done. The other thing that I want to talk about, and one thing you will notice on my channel, is I do like to cover launchpads. I've covered launchpads on various L1s, on various L2s that we've had over the past year. And really, one of the ways in order to find some decent projects, that potentially should have legs in order to grow is launchpads, because launchpads tend to do some of that thinking for you. They do that vetting process for you, or at least help you in your research. Now, one of the projects that I'm hearing a lot of wind of, and I'm kind of seeing it in various groups and communities, is DogeLauncher. So that's planning to be the first launchpad on Dogechain. And the idea behind it is that they're obviously, looking to provide a platform for future teams to be able to launch their projects. And launchpads generally do provide, well, certainly for me, a bit of confidence in terms of what I'm looking to ultimately buy within Dogechain community itself. Now here, obviously the usuals, we've got no KYC, so everybody loves a bit of no KYC. It's a meme launcher. So, and I'm pretty certain at least the first few projects that launch on this platform will do well. They always do. Every launchpad, when you kind of look at the initial onset of projects that come on, they do tend to do well because they're kind of the first to market. So here, I know that they've had a number of applications and whitelists going in, and their Telegram community has been growing quite significantly over the last couple of days. It's clearly being mentioned in various Telegram forums. And so we're seeing a lot of influx coming to these guys. They even have a Twitter set up. So this is all relatively new, actually. This just happened in the last few days. So certainly, I would say a project that you might want to keep your eye on. I think it will do well out the gate, not financial advice. The other one that I've noticed here recently is KATZ, like $KATZ. This is being mentioned in quite a few places. It's obviously another meme token, but here it's more kind of geared towards the meme war. So, DogeCats versus, sorry, what was I saying? DogeCats? I'm saying Doge versus cats, basically. So dogs versus cats. You're getting that. The idea behind it is that you can pick up $KATZ. Obviously, you'll have $Doge. You provide that as liquidity. And from that, you will be given Doge poop. That's right, Doge poop. So again, there's a fair, and obviously this is a farming liquidity play as well. Now, there's a fair bit of talk around this. I'm seeing this slowly grow as well. And I think this is something that you just might want to keep your eye on. They've got clearly a development plan. They haven't put everything out that they're doing here. And I think that's quite a good marketing tactic as well that's being used here. But they're slowly filtering out bits of information in terms of what they're planning to do. But the idea here ultimately is that they want to slowly siphon the value of $Doge into their token as well and grow that at the same time. They're certainly not saying that they're doing anything crazy like $1 trillion APYs. That's not going to be there at all. But clearly they want to provide a revenue-based model here in order to fundamentally provide value to people who are ultimately holding Doge poop. So certainly one worth checking out. They are already listed, so you can actually pick up the token. And as you can see, I think this launched a few days ago. Like most of these projects, they have the initial pump that comes up, some stability and dumps coming in. So this is something that you want to watch out for. I think they've got another update. The way that it works is, they've got another update coming out, to reveal the next phase of their project, because obviously they clearly got a whole ecosystem based around here. It's in about 6 days, 22 hours, so watch out for that. And certainly a project I'd say worth watching out for, because there's a fair bit of fun orientated behind this. So I think this may well do well as well. Now, the other thing that you also want to look out for, on general networks that launch is NFT marketplaces, right? Who's the first NFT marketplace on these platforms? Who's looking to launch? What are they doing? And one that I've come across, and I think this is still being built up from what I understand, but clearly in its final stages, is Dogebys. So they also have a Twitter, which is Dogebys as well. Yeah, same thing here. Now, DogebysNFT, they call it. So here the idea is that obviously they're looking to host a load of collections based obviously around Doge, but obviously it can be anything really. But I think this is one that's definitely worth watching out for. They don't have a native token. There isn't a native token here. But what I do know is that this token here, which is the KarmaDao token on Dogechain, this project actually grew out of this community. So I suspect to a certain extent, we may see some sort of linkage between Dogebys as well as the KarmaDao token. So certainly a project I would certainly keep your eyes on. And all these details will be below in the link. So make sure you check that out. But this, I know, is obviously a community of builders, marketeers, just more of a helpful community more than anything else. So they're obviously looking to grow projects out of this. And I suspect that holding the native token will most probably have some sort of value further down the line. So certainly one worth watching out for. Now, while we're on the topic of NFTs, the one that I have come across is the drugged Huskies. So this is actually a project. It has a solid team behind it. I am aware of some of the people behind this project as well. And here, it's not just another NFT. While they've got some pretty cool NFTs here, which all of them are, they've got 8,888 hand-drawn NFTs. The main thing here that I kind of want to pull out is that they're actually building a brand, not just an NFT brand in the sort of crypto sense, but they're also looking to build the brand out within the actual real world itself. And there's a fair few things going with this. Obviously, they've got episodes. They've already got a cartoon episode from what I understand. Every week they have a little episode coming out here, which is what they're playing down from here. And also on top of that, they've got merch. They've actually got merchandise that you can also pick up. So they've got all of these cool merchandise that's kind of going with it as well. So the idea is that you hold the NFTs, there'll be obviously merchandise that you can get in the real world, and there's going to be a clear link between holding the NFTs and obviously getting discounts on the actual real world physical items as well. So they're looking to build out something pretty big here, and I'm looking forward to this actually, in all honesty. I think they've got their marketing right. They've clearly got a value proposition here as well. So it's certainly one worth checking out. Again, details all below, and there's clearly more to come. So certainly watch that. Now, in terms of anything else, I don't have anything else to share. These are just some of the projects that I'm just coming across, hearing about within the sort of Dogechain space. So if there's something that you want me to talk about, or there's something that you want me to look into, drop it in the comments below. I'll certainly have a look at it. And obviously, if you haven't, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. Hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss any of my upcoming episodes. Come and join us in the Telegram community, and I will see you on the next episode.